So hi guys, I'm doing something slightly different today and decided to hop on live rather than actually writing out my post. I wanted to do sort of a Monday motivation post, and as I was typing it, I realised it was going to be War and Peace. I thought it'd be easier to come and actually talk it through rather than writing it. So what inspired me today was, some of you may know I have a massive commute every day. I commute to Leeds, that's 60 miles there, 60 miles back. So on the way home I often like to listen to podcasts, do a bit of personal development. And today I was listening to Style Your Mind by Carol Will-Labour, who I love. If you've got a chance to listen to that podcast, I really recommend it. But today, one of the things she was talking about was mantras. One of her mantras is, "What's meant for me will not pass me by." And that got me thinking about how I now view positivity and positive thoughts. So I'm a bit of a negative person, I think. I'm sort of a worrier. I tend to think about the worst things that could happen because I like to think I'm prepared for it, and then if it does happen I'm not disappointed. And I decided that maybe that wasn't the best way to live my life, and there was things I could change about that. There was things that I could maybe do. But when I looked at all the usual positive thinking stuff out there, I found it really difficult. I just couldn't get my head around it. I thought, well, if things are really rubbish, how am I supposed to think positive about it? There's no positive thing on something bad happening. And I really struggled with it. But the idea of thinking about everything happens for a reason, the idea that what's meant to happen to you will happen to you, I know it's a bit spiritual and a bit sort of, woo-woo and all that kind of stuff, but that sort of helped me a lot more, and that's sort of where I decided I could be more positive in things. So this is going to sound a bit weird as well, but one of my things that I sort of use when things aren't going too well is there's a Bon Jovi song. I'm not going to sing to you, so you don't need to worry about that. But the song, I'm just going to sort of tell you a couple of the lyrics that I think really sort of work with this positivity thing. And so the chorus starts off with, "Welcome to wherever you are, this is your life, you've made it this far." And I think that's really relevant to thinking positive. It's about gratitude, about realising, do you know what, no matter how bad things have been or how bad things are currently, you're still alive, you're still breathing, you've still got a chance for things to change, you've still got time to take action. Things can get better, they might get worse, but you're still here, and that's a big positive thing. So I think that sometimes helps with trying to be more positive. In actually, if you're grateful for what the things you do have, it sort of does help you put a more positive spin on things. And then it goes on to sort of say, welcome, you've got to believe right here, right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And that's my thing at the minute. So I'm going through a bit of a difficult time, and that's the line I keep replaying over and over in my head when I'm feeling a bit down, when I'm feeling a bit negative, that right here, right now, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And so it's not positive thinking of thinking, oh great, everything's amazing, everything's brilliant. It's just thinking, do you know what? Everything is how it's supposed to be. And sort of leading on to that, there's a saying got, everything will be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. And sort of that helps in thinking, do you know what, even if it's rubbish right now, that doesn't mean how it's always going to be. I don't have to be positive about my current situation, but I can be positive that things will change. Now, if linking it to fitness, I think it's sort of, people often try and be perfect, and people often think, well, I'm never going to get there, or I failed today, so that means I'm a failure forever, or all of that kind of stuff. And I think to be more positive about it, it's important to be grateful for where you are. So say if you've got injured, I think that's a big thing that people struggle with. Say if they've got injured or they're ill and they've not been able to do the training, or it's meant that they've completely fallen off the wagon, it's important to look back to where you've been and where you currently are now. And that can help you be more positive. And sort of that thing of, this is your life, you've made it this far. Be grateful for where you've been and where you're going to, and the fact that you are able to do the things that you're currently able to do, even if it's not what you want to do. Maybe it's just going for a 10-minute walk. That's something to be grateful for, and that can sort of help change your mindset a bit. And I think that sort of thing of it's okay to be where you are in your journey. It's okay that you're not running a marathon, or you're not being able to do 10 pull-ups, or you're not a size 6, or whatever it is that you're aiming for, whatever it is your goal. It's okay to not be there. It's okay to be happy with where you are, and it's okay to think, well, do you know what? I'm not there yet, but every day I'm a step closer. And that's sort of where you can sort of build in your actions to say, right, okay, I'm happy and I'm content with where I am. This is where I'm supposed to be, but I can now start making changes to get myself there. So anyway, that was a bit rambling, but I'm hoping that might have sort of just helped some people who maybe be going through some sort of difficult times with illness or injury, just to sort of try and, it's difficult when things aren't going well. I know things aren't, I'm not the most positive of people, but just keep reminding yourself, everything, you right here, right now, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So enjoy your Monday.